Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said that Allah has informed him that his followers must not pray with other Muslims. Must not pray with other Muslims. His followers cannot participate. When it comes to the ritual of slaughtering the lambs and goats, which we call the Eid and other Eid festival in Islam, he said that his followers cannot participate with other Muslims. He said that do not pray in the mosques of other Muslims. Allah is very soon going to destroy them and is going to hand over their mosque in your possession, O Ahmadi. That Ahmadis cannot give their daughter in marriage to a non-Ahmadi. If they do so, it is a sin, it is impermissible, and it is as though as you are giving your daughter to a disbeliever, a kafir, like a Jew or a Christian or a Hindu. And this is the level of hatred, this is the level of separating Ahmadis from the quote-unquote non-Ahmadis found in the Jamaat literature. And what is the slogan today, Declan? Love for all and hatred for none. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's son said that for us, non-Ahmadis are worse than the venomous snakes and the wild beasts until and unless they become Daud Nasir Sahib. How would you make all of this compatible with your current slogan, love for all and hatred for none? Over to you, Daud Nasir. So Declan, because Daud Nasir is repeatedly touching upon a topic, and he's trying to give this impression that as though look at the Muslim community, how they are ill treating the Ahmadiyya community, because this was basically the central message of whatever he was saying for a long time. So basically, we are not going to enter into any debate, Declan. But I just want to share something. Obviously, in our debate, we are not going to touch upon every single thing because this was a very long topic. So I just try to cover it from one particular angle. So I would not be unfair with Daud Nasir Sahib. But in your presence, Declan, I will present something here on the screen, and then after that, there will be no debate, absolutely no debate. I will simply in 5 minutes, I will put something on the screen, and then we'll give full 5 minutes to Daud Sahib as well. To say something if you want to say. So I will not take more than 15 minutes altogether, Declan, and I really appreciate your time because this was something which was said in your presence. So I think it will be good, if I mention
this evening or from last week.
Sorry,
when you said this was said in my presence, you mean tonight or
tonight?
Tonight. Okay.
Yeah. So as you can see on the screen now, because I did not get the time to translate in English, but I will be translating as I go, and Daud has every right to object my translation. So the title is Boycott of Non-Ahmad. First thing, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani said that his God has commanded him to cut all ties with the non-Ahmad. Where is the reference? Tashhizul Azhan. This was an organ of the Jamaat Ahmadiyya which was started by second caliph, and this particular reference is August 1911, volume number 6, magazine number 8, page number 311. Second reference, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani said that the Islam of all other Muslims is like a poisonous milk. It is like a rotten milk. And reference is Ruhani Khazain, volume 18, page number 649. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said that Allah has informed him that his followers must not pray with other Muslims. Must not pray with other Muslims. Ruhani Khazain, volume 17, page 64. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said his followers cannot participate. When it comes to the ritual of slaughtering the lambs and goats, which we call the Eid and other Eid festival in Islam, he said that his followers cannot participate with other Muslims. And where is it? It is the Fatawa, the legal verdicts of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, page number 135. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani said to his followers, he said that do not pray in the mosques of other Muslims. Allah is very soon going to destroy them and is going to hand over their mosque in your possession, O Ahmadi. Documented saying of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, i.e. Malfuzat, volume 3, page 411. And then Mirza Ghulam Qadiani advised that Ahmadis cannot give their daughter in marriage to a non-Ahmadi. If they do so, it is a sin, it is impermissible, and it is as though as you are giving your daughter to a disbeliever, a kafir, like a Jew or a Christian or a Hindu. And this is, where is it? It is again Fiqhul Masih, which is the legal verdict of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, page number 243. And likewise, the sayings of Bashiruddin Mahmud, the second caliph, page number 195. Likewise, the Al-Fazl newspaper, 23rd of May, 1921. Anything you want, everything is ready right now with me with the actual scans. Okay, so don't forget, they said that let's move on. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's Jamaat said you cannot ever pray for forgiveness of a deceased non-Ahmad. Why? Because they are outside of the fold of Islam, and this is the reason Mirza Ghulam Qadiani did not pray for his son Fazl Ahmad. Reference Al-Fazl newspaper, 7th Feb 1921, page 2. Likewise, Al-Fazl, 17th October 1921, page 3. Likewise, the articles of Bashir Ahmad M.A., volume 1, page 449. Okay, let's, inshallah, just couple of more. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani has cut the ties of his followers from rest of the people forever and ever. And he said that you can only have those ties with non-Ahmadis which you can have with other disbelievers. Where is it? Articles of Bashir Ahmad M.A., who was son of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, volume 1, page number 4. Okay, likewise, very important, very, very important. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's son, Bashir Ahmad M.A. said in his articles, volume 1, page 3 and 4. He said that until and unless non-Ahmadis become Ahmadis, we can never have peace with them. For us, they are like venomous snake and the wild beast. They are worse than them until and unless they become Ahmadis. And last reference is Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's son in the same thing in which he was addressing this issue, volume 1, page number 4. He said, we need to understand there are two types of relationship. One is of religion, other is of this world, or the secular one. He said that as far as the religious one is concerned, the biggest one is worshipping together. And as far as the worldly ties are concerned, the bigger one is marriage. And then he says, by the way, I'm translating what he has said. He said that now when we look at Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, his father, he has cut both of these ties between Ahmadis and non-Ahmadis forever. Which ties? The ties of worshipping together or marrying to each other. Then he said, when it comes to religion, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani commanded his followers, do not pray with them. And if they die, do not pray for their forgiveness. And as far as the worldly ties are concerned, he said, do not give your daughters in their marriage. And then the son of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said, after this, what type of ties are left there? He said, these are the things which the Prophet of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, these are the things he commanded to his companions, and same are commanded by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And then he said, as far as the secular ties are concerned, like business, etc., you can do with the disbelievers as well. And then he ends the quote by saying that this is a very subtle point which you need to reflect upon. Now, why I presented this one, this is the level of hatred, this is the level of separating Ahmadis from the quote-unquote non-Ahmadis found in the Jamaat literature. And what is the slogan today, Declan? Love for all and hatred for none. I again want to repeat, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's son said that for us, non-Ahmadis are worse than the venomous snakes and the wild beasts until and unless they become Ahmad. I am done. Daud Nasir Sahib, how would you make all of this compatible with your current slogan, love for all and hatred for none? Over to you, Daud Nasir.
You see, that the general thing is that we do not hate anybody. But if their actions are such that they need to stay away from. You know, this at this time, I don't know. You don't take my words, but think of what people think about. They are, I mean, it is a long list. You say terrorist, you found plenty there. You know, this is it. Over 100,000 people are dead in the last few years. You know, this is what it is. They're very dangerous. There's verdicts nowadays that they should be killed. Just think, yes, they're not even ashamed of these kind of, you know, this is too big. They see a person praying and they want to catch them. Today, they have caught 5 people from today's, they are praying or something like that. They took them and all 5 by the court are said to be, they are guilty of death. Just think, they're gone mad. They have no respect for Allah, Ikrafuddin. They go all day. This is their Islam. You know, none of them is working positive. None of the firqas even gather there, even Sunnis or Wahhabis or other people, they do nothing at all for their people. Otherwise, they can do a great job because the success is hidden in Jamaat. That is the only way which has been told to us by Rasulullah. But they never do that. The people who think Islam is what the Constitution of Pakistan says. Some people are breaking Shazan's bottles of juice and say, well, this is very good. You know, they are lost people. And this is what they do. They go to the mosques and they break their mosques and all that. And I mean, this is a long list. They have become a criminal nation. This is the problem. And I believe on all those things. You think I'll give a daughter to one of those? You must be joking. They are not good enough people. They are not even human. Look at their law. I mean, the Rasulullah is Rahmatul Alameen. He is a prophet for everybody. Where did they get this right? That if I go do something what is in Quran, they want to kill me. Aren't they mad? They're extremely the dirtiest nation at this time. If a person says to you, Assalamu Alaikum, and he's saying to you, God makes you salam, and you put him 3 years in jail, you must be mad. They're gone mad. And I tell you one thing, this law, they have not thought the verdict of Quran. Quran says such people who forbid people from doing good for Islam are haramis. They don't even care that. They're bastards. I mean, I don't know where they're taking this nation now. This is what they say. Terrorism is their hobby. I mean, no other nation is like that. That's what I told you, that judge here in Germany, when they started to giving the visas to Ahmadis here, it was said that, okay, give every Ahmadi a visa because of these things. And he was one of the things. He said, in this time of such light, on this valley pyramid lives a nation. You say him good morning, it puts you 3 years in jail. What else is madness? And these people, you think they're Muslim? They're not even human. So better stay away from them. They're very dangerous. They are gone mad. So what he said, I believe in all of those things. I mean, that sentence, Tashhid Uzanvi said, he said it was a children's magazine, though. But it is true. I will not go to them. We're very careful from them. When we go to Pakistan, we're very careful because anybody of them can be terrorists because they say that if you kill an Ahmadi, you'll go to paradise. You know, what madness model? You won't find even in Africa a nation which doesn't wear clothes like this. That's what Rasulullah has. They are the worst creature on the earth. And they are those people who are their leaders.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry to say. Thank you.
And one last thing, please confirm this as well. Declan, in Ahmadiyya religion, you are not allowed even to follow the funeral of an infant child, even if a child died, because obviously this, according to Islam,
Why is that?
because they say that he is just as the child of another disbeliever. He said that the children will be counted as per religion of their father. So if the father is a non-Ahmadi, so the child will be considered as non-Ahmadi, and because for non-Ahmadis there is no prayer for forgiveness if they die. So what I'm trying to say, Declan, is all of that, just these two examples, Declan, the example of a infant child dying and the example of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani not praying for his son Fazal Ahmad, who was very nice, very good son. He was a non-Ahmadi. So what I'm trying to say, Declan, is these two examples, they are more than enough that they are not doing all of that in reaction or in response. This is their very ideology, that you have to hate people who they call non-Ahmadis from the core of your heart. And that's these two examples, because there was no other fault on Fazal Ahmad. Why Mirza Ghulam Qadiani hated him? There's no fault of an infant child dying. What is his fault? He's not giving any verdict of kufr on Qadianis. He's not saying anything bad. So this was the entire debate, Declan, in which we wanted to present that all of these things which they are quoting, they are just a cover-up mission. And guess what? Declan, I can bring live here in the next live stream. I can bring live here those people who left Ahmadiyya, Declan. Right now they are Muslims, but before they were Ahmadis, Declan, they were offered, because they are in Pakistan. They said, look, if you want to go to a foreign country, do one thing: remove all your belongings from your home, bring some old stuff and set everything on fire, and then make a video. And then through that video, you'll be able to make your case that you are victim, you are being victimized, because you are Ahmadi, and then you can make your case. I swear by God, I will bring asylum. That. Yeah, exactly, for asylum. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, I am not denying that there are always few black sheep in every community. If you want Daud Ahmad Nasir Sahib, I can put on the screen that one of your official Murabbi of Canada, because he was committing indecency with the younger children and he has been sentenced. Okay, so for what? There are black sheep in every community. But what I'm trying to say is that you guys are playing this victim card just for asylum. And I can bring multiple witnesses in the next live stream. All of that does not prove anything, because matters are decided on the basis of theology.
What do you think, Doug? Do you think that's true? Do you think there are some people
who... It's very true. I mean, what it is actually is the prophethood. There's a system of prophet. You have to look at the Rasulullah, how he... The first one, they said you are a kafir. Then they started to generate, the seventh, and then they throw him out of the country, and the people went to the Christian country. Hold on a second. And they got asylum there. And then they went to Medina, from where Rasulullah became a king. I think these are all plans of God. We have never gone to government to say, please, why did you do? Because we know that these things has to come, and there's a plan of God to do that, so that they could do that work. So that is what has happened. Obviously, people have come from there in thousands of millions, and the society, the Ahmadiyya Jamaat has become almost they're doing wonders. Just look, there's not a single TV in the world, Islamic TV, and there's so many big. We have a TV station 24 hours in 13 languages without any, and they're all teaching that. In a few years' time, 50 years, we're going to reach every country with their language, with their literature. People have no choice but to look at that and become. This is the way we are moving. And all 200 countries, we have our Murabbis, and we have so many. We are working on it so that Islam's work should be done. They're just sitting, doing nothing. So this is what I'm saying, is that God has his own plan. And that's what in the opposition for the prophets is actually a reason to make them, whether you understand them.
So Muhammad, people who seek asylum under those type of circumstances, where do they go to? Which countries take them?
You mean the people who are from Ahmadiyya community?
Yes.
They go to many different countries. For example, they go to Canada, they go to UK, they come here in Australia as well. and they go to other parts of the Europe as well. For example, Germany, one specific, because there's a presence of this community in Germany as well.
Okay.
So basically, Declan, please, I'm sorry first of all for holding you back, but the point I'm trying to emphasize by giving the example of infant child and Fazal Ahmad, because these two are classic examples. There's absolutely nothing they have committed, but they are still considered as non-Muslims, just like another disbeliever, to the level, because Declan, this is something very important. When you do not pray for someone after his death, why are you laughing?
No, sir. No, sir. I was just saying, but how do you know? But I don't know nothing about Fazal. How do you know that his father didn't pray for him? I mean, I don't know. This is.
Subhanallah, do you want me to put on the screen?
No, it's not a question. I'm just saying it's a private matter. How do you get this? What I'm saying is,
and
you have so much information, and we don't.
I tell you, Daud Sahib, now let me tell you, Declan, how we got the information about Fazal Ahmad, Declan?
Did Mirza Ghulam Ahmad make a public statement?
No, more than that, Declan. Lahori Jamaat, they were trying to tell the Qadiani or the Khilafah group or the Caliphate group, they said, please do not consider the non-Ahmadis as disbelievers. At that time, the second son the elder son or the second Caliph and the younger son, both of them, they gave the example of Fazal Ahmad.
Oh, I see, okay.
That's how we got information. They said, look, it is the religion of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, that just by the mere fact you are a non-Ahmadi, you are a disbeliever. Then they gave the example of Fazal Ahmad. That's how this thing came out. And guess what, Declan? All of this information, most of it is when the split was happening between Lahoris and the Qadiani in 1914 and 15 and 16 and 17. Now, interesting thing is, Declan, they changed this narrative on this issue of excommunication or takfir from 1953 onward. Why? Because that is the time when there is no more British Raj. They do not have the umbrella of the British Raj. Now they are living as a small group, as a small minority in Pakistan. And now they started to change their position. And what I have presented before, that we have to consider non-Ahmadis worse than the venomous snake and worse than the wild beast. This is what they were saying in 1915 and 16. Why? They were not saying to us, by the way, Declan. This is the key point. They were saying all of that to Lahori Jamaat, that look, you have to consider non-Ahmad as a disbeliever. They were making their case stronger and true. Because Declan, in the case of Fazal Ahmad, there's no other reason. Fazal Ahmad was, Declan, Fazal Ahmad was obedient to the point. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said to him, he said that you have to divorce your wife because your in-laws are opposing me. Declan, he gave the signed divorce document to his father. He said, okay, no problem. Whatever you decide, I'm happy with that. He was a non-Ahmadi, and this was the level of obedience. And guess what? When he died, people came, everything is with reference. When he died, Declan, when he died, people came to Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. They said, look, he was a very good son. He never disobeyed you. Just let it go. Just make supplication for him, pray for him. He said, no way. And this is the example, Qadiani or the Caliph.
When did his son die?
Let me check now. I'll give you now the date, exact date.
You might know. When did his son die?
Ahmad Bhai, can you please put the date of the Fazal Ahmad's death on the screen? So basically,
this is very interesting.
Yeah, so basically, Declan, this is the key point. All of this discussion, it was not happening between non-Ahmadis and Ahmadis. No.
How old was his son?
He was a young
teenager
man. He was married. He was married.
Oh, sorry, okay.
He was married. Adult, exactly. So basically, the first wife of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani and
it was his son from the first marriage.
Exactly.
Okay.
So neither the wife
nor
the son. So
all the other children were quite young.
1904 he died, Declan. 1904.
So that was 4 years before Mirza died.
And Declan, this is the key point. The example of Fazal Ahmad, this was the prime example the Qadiani Caliphate group was using to convince the Lahori group that you have to declare excommunication on non-Ahmadis, because otherwise, how would you justify Mirza Ghulam Qadiani not praying for Fazal Ahmad?
I was going to ask you, Daud, there was a question there when Mohammed was speaking. I mean, obviously you live in Germany. I don't know where you live in Germany. Is it Berlin?
Near Frankfurt.
Oh, near Frankfurt, okay. Because there's quite a large Lahori movement in Berlin, isn't it? The big mosque in Berlin.
I think I saw once, only in Berlin. Once somebody told me that they have one office there, but many years ago. But I've never seen them here.
No, they had a celebration. A big celebration last year because I think it was the 100th year of the. Yeah. And are you friends with any of the Lahoris?
We go there. I was there last time, and they're quite gentle people, Ahmadis and all that. Though there are some mistakes here and there.
The two groups don't clash, do they?
No, we don't do that. See, Ahmadis have little clash. This is first thing. Ahmadis are very gentle. You will never see an Ahmadi making that kind of problem. We'd never even do a dharna. We'd never do a demonstration. We'll never do these things. We are good citizens. This is it. We don't say, but on the other hand, you won't see a Ahmadi begging as well. This is what I'm saying. We are different people. If you go to our place, go to Jalsa Salana, there's no person who's not really affected by the way they work. Yeah. We are gentle.
When I was in Pakistan in December 22, obviously I spent some time with the Lahori Jamaat, and obviously I wrote that small little book afterwards. But I disagree with you there, Daud. I thought there was a lot of I thought there was a lot of misgivings between both communities.
Once my sister, we were living in Lahore. I was a young boy time. What I remember, she was buried in their graveyard, So because we were actually from somewhere there, like Shias and Sunnis are the same, so we and them are the same, and we discussed with them. And there were many when I was a young boy, but then many turned to us and came towards our side. They're no little group, but anyway, they are. But we respect them because they read the same books of Masih Maud, and there are many things and differences. There are differences, but they're quite gentle.
We'll have to try sometime to bring you both together to see what the respective sides.
Yes, but this is God. If God doesn't want, this is everybody is different. Everybody is different. They're different. Now the Quran says there's so many people different. Every kind of person is in this world. This is strange. And well, that's it. All sorts of people are there. If you disagree, don't stay with it. That's it. But it doesn't mean to say they're nothing. They're Muslims. They are really Muslims, and and they believe in promised Messiah as a mujaddid. It doesn't matter. Say, for instance, some people believe in Jesus, the Son of God. The other says the Prophet of God. Both think that what Jesus says, we have to do it. That's the one thing. That's practice.
Now, Sahib,
Same thing is here.
Just one small comment on this one. Declan, this is really inconsistent and it is absurd. For example, Declan, for you as a Catholic Christian, obviously, Jesus Christ is the Son of living God. And obviously, it's your belief, right? If somebody says, oh, no, Jesus Christ, may God forgive me. I'm just giving you an example. He was a liar. And then you say, no problem. These are two positions. Who cares? How can you say that? You cannot say that. Likewise, Declan, for the according to the current position. Now, again, we have some research on this one that actually Lahori Jamaat also fine-tuned their narrative after they lost the plot, because initially they did have the hope that after the first caliph, Hakim Nuruddin, they might get the seat of the leadership, the position, or at least something in the main position. But obviously, when they saw...
If my memory serves me correctly, I suppose they thought that, is it Maulana Muhammad Ali, that he would have been... Yeah.
Exactly. So because he was very knowledgeable amongst this community, and he was...
He's the one that clashed very heavily with the second...
Exactly. And prayer. All of this, and most of the writings, that I was presenting today, these are actually written by the Qadiani Ahmadis to refute Muhammad al-Lahori, because they were both debating each other, the both parts. Now, anyway, the point was, Declan, the Lahori position is Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is not a prophet.
Correct.
And Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is telling us in his documented saying, volume number 10, page number 110, he said, my claim is that I am a prophet and a messenger. It's in black and white. Now,
John, I'll have to get you a copy of my little book, and it tells you all about the split between the Qadiani and the Lahori.
Yeah.
I have also read them. When I was a young boy.
One second. Now, Declan, now, Daud Ahmad Nasir was saying that, these are trivial matters. You consider...
Not at the time, it wasn't. Whew.
Exactly. So you considering somebody a prophet of God, and they saying, no, he wasn't a prophet of God. That's not trivial. You considering that in the Quran, Declan, today's...
even up to 22, when I spent time with them, it was still a very sticking point.
Yeah. I give you,
if you have friends that are Lahoris, it's something they bring up quite frequently.
Declan, a striking example. In the Quran, Declan, there is a prophecy. Jesus said that, O children of Israel, I'm giving you the good news of a prophet who will come after me, and his name will be Ahmad. Second caliph said, this prophet prophesied by Jesus in the Quran is Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And he said that I give a challenge of 5,000 Indian rupees to anyone who can come and debate me on this issue. I will prove that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is the prophet in the Quran prophesied by Jesus Christ. And in contrast to that, Lahori Jamaat was saying and writing and book, Muhammad Ali Lahori was writing book and accepting his challenging and telling him that no, this was Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon. It cannot be Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. And Daud Ahmad Nasir is saying these are trivial matters. I mean, if we do not know all of these things which are there in the literature, in the prime writings of both sides, that's a different issue. But if we do know all of this, and yet we are saying that these are trivial issues, I'm surprised.
Can I answer that question? As a matter of fact, they do consider him. Like, you see, what is a prophet? A prophet is to whom God speaks in abundance. This is what it is. If they believe in all the revelations of Hazrat Masih Maud, which are over many thousands, then it's against the Quran, because God says he only speaks in abundance with such people who are prophets. So as a matter of fact, I don't know what they have gone wrong or whatever, but this is true, that promised Messiah has done so much, so many things. And there's a book, Tazkara, you see, I think there, I don't know, 10,000 is revelations and something like that. I don't know how many, but they are. So if that is, then what else can be that person except a prophet? So this is what I'm saying, is that there is some mistake there by these few people. It happens all the time. They've accepted the first Khalifa. They didn't accept the second Khalifa, because I don't know what happened there. But this happens in all nations. I mean, Rasulullah was the biggest prophet. As soon as his death came, a lot of people left.
So Declan, before, obviously this can go for hours, so we don't want to waste your precious time.
No, I'm sorry. I pressed something.
Let him go. I think let him go. Let him go.
No, I'm just conscious of the time, and I'm conscious of you, Mohammed, that you might want to go on to other things, and that you might want to invite other people onto the platform. And I think we've lingered after the dinner. Dawood, I think it's probably our time to say goodnight to Mohammed. But
I was surprised the other day, Imtiaz, that you, after 7 hours, you said you're going to stay another 2 hours. This is too much.
I stayed for 4.5 hours.
More, yes. And I mean, this is strange. I mean, to me,
great stamina as Mohammed.
Be more than 2-3 hours, and that's it. 3 hours.
May I compliment you? You have pretty good stamina yourself. I think coming on Saturday night, you were still going strong when I left, and I was very tired at that stage. So don't put yourself down. Yes. You also have great stamina. But look, gentlemen, it was a very, very good debate tonight. Yes. I really enjoyed it. I've learned a lot. I think it has been very well conducted, and thank you both again.
Well, thank you very much.